Hello, everybody. I'm Nola and it's the 17th of October, and I'm on the Gold Coast in Australia. Last week, I had a longer segment where I talked about soul maturity and some of the components that we need to consider when we're looking at how well our soul is developed and how that manifests in terms of personality and choices in life. And one of the things that I didn't talk a lot about, but I've read out loud, was the egos. When you're focused on ego, you can be quite loud in how you come across. And so, just as a supplement to last week, remember that when you're journeying past the point of relying on ego gratification to fulfill you, you will actually become quieter and more tempered in your life. And you'll find that with some people, as they get older and they've matured through experiences and they've developed resilience, that they will actually stay quite, not calm, that's not the right word. It's more about with strong self-control, instead of allowing their ego to want to take over the internal dialogue, basically. Today, I'm going to talk to you about jealousy. And in my memoir, in the epilogue at the back, there is only one sentence where I refer to jealousy, and it's all about spiritual maturity. And at various points in our soul journey, there are negative traits that manifest through personality that reflect the level of maturity of the soul. And everybody at some point in their soul journey is going to manifest those negative traits. And the idea about soul maturity is that you recognize your deficiencies and your poor choices, and you improve on that. Now, some people can make strong improvements in their one physical lifetime, and therefore their soul matures to a point that's quite extraordinary, and they may not need any more maturing beyond that particular lifetime. But if somebody doesn't change all that much and doesn't learn from their lessons, in the next journey of their soul in another personality, then they will have to relearn a lot of those lessons. And that's where karma kicks in. It's a bit like what you haven't learned and applied and remedied in this current time, then at some point that karmic lesson will come back. On page 259, I talk about fear, and fear being quite a useless emotion in a lot of ways. And I challenge anybody here that says that everybody has to feel fear at some point. Well, no, we don't. Risk managing situations isn't about being fearful and therefore managing the situation. Risk management is about being strong and in self-control and making risk-based decisions. And that's entirely different to somebody that comes from a fear base. And fear is a very negative energy in the body. So you're putting energy into something that may not even manifest and may not even happen. And as I talk in No Boxing Allowed, my first book, I talk about fear is like putting money into a bank account that doesn't pay you any interest. You're investing emotional effort into something that may never happen. So it's actually quite useless. Jealousy, on the other hand, is something that I'm sure most of you have either felt or you've witnessed other people say, "Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I could do that," or "I wish I could have that." And in my memoir, I talk about jealousy, as useless as it is, must be replaced by acceptance. That what exists for us is okay. That equality is a better frame of mind. Now, what I mean by jealousy is useless, it's if I were to sit and look at, somebody opposite me in a room and think, "Oh, I'm so jealous. I wish I had that person's car. I wish I had that person's hairstyle. I wish I had that person's, nail color or something like that. What you're doing is you're not actually accepting yourself for where things are for you. You're wanting to have what somebody else has because you see that it's better than what you have. And what the counterbalance that with acceptance is about saying to yourself, okay, what that other person has is something that, yes, I would really like to have. Now, how can I change my choices and my life to manifest that? If it's something that I really want, then I can manifest it myself. With all the right things going on, you can make that thing happen. When everything's aligned and everybody's working in concert and nobody's working against you, then those things will come to be. But where you're investing jealous emotion, you're projecting a lack of worthiness of yourself, and you're also saying that what is existing for me is not okay. Now, if you take time and reflect on that, you'll probably realize that that's not really what it's all about. Maybe you want to have what somebody else has and you don't think that you can achieve it, in which case that's a self-esteem issue and perhaps a self-motivation issue. But if you're looking at another person or another family or another company and saying, oh, I'm so jealous, then you're actually investing in a useless emotion, because jealousy in its own right doesn't help you achieve the change in circumstances. All it does is it kind of creates this cloud of, oh, I feel sorry for myself because I don't have X, or oh, my life is so bad because I don't have Y. And that is a useless waste of your time. It's not allowing you to achieve to your greatest potential, and it's actually valuing other people and what other people have above what you do. Now, granted, there are things in our lives sometimes that aren't quite what we need and want, but so long as we stay true and we know what we really need and we know what we really want and we're clear on that vision, then your choices have to reflect that idea and that goal or goals that you've set. So if you say, my goal is to have a big home with 5 cars and all the little widgets and gadgets, then if your choices through life are reckless, they're not risk-based, they're not discerning, then you're not very likely to achieve those goals, that particular outcome that you're wanting. So whilst you can maintain a vision, your actions, your inactions, your words, your silence, and your choices in how to interact with others, how to work together for a solution, all of those things come into play to realize those goals that you have. And if you have done everything in your power to realize a particular goal, but for whatever reason beyond your control, that doesn't happen, then putting that emotion of jealousy and almost like, stepping on your own self-esteem. It's a deliberate smacking yourself around, saying, well, I'm not good enough. I want what they've got. They're better than me. Therefore, I'm the one at fault. That's actually really silly. It is just plain silly. And it's not going to get you what you need and what you deserve. I hope that that's been a fruitful few minutes, and as I said, the topics that I read from my memoir will continue until I've exhausted all of the things that I feel that need to be communicated. And if you like to comment about this particular video or others, please feel free. I welcome the feedback. I hope you subscribe to our channel, and I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Bye for now.